So at least in the drafting phase, I actually prefer YEG's draft because it seems a little bit more straightforward. In terms of the mechanics, you know, you need a lot of mechanics with this kind of lineup, but in terms of what you're supposed to do, for me, it's pretty straightforward here.
Yeah, it's all about takeoffs, it's all about getting these aggressive heroes to do well in the early game. And Mondo!
Wow. Ooh. I mean, it looks like easy first blood for Emma. You don't see a Granger cutting that wave that early. He was waiting in that bush to get that kill, and that's a good first blood for Bigetron here.
And Valexi was obliging him in that, duel. He's running the Purify as well. So at that point, already in the all-in, unwilling to kind of relinquish control to Eman, he kind of fell victim there. And that was a great, smart move coming in from Eman. But now, you see, Lucas using that early game joy pressure, man. Annabelle's trying to match him across the map. Oh, the Jarhead. This is the scary fact about this roamer, man. He does damage.
Yeah, and now a gang happening in the gold lane. Looks like they're gonna get Balexi again, and the other kill is going over to Iman. And we see that gold minion getting killed off with no one to receive the gold. Right now, Bigetron Esports, they see that Balexi got 2 MVPs yesterday, so they make sure they shut him down fast.
And Balexi himself, hang on a second. Whoa. Alright, Ares a bit aggressive there with he has the pull yourself together as well, so looking to make plays for sure. But Balexi, looking at the emblems, he went for the Bargain Hunter as well, so he was really trying to get to the power spikes early, and because of that, Bigetron Esports are able to just punish him more, because he's lacking some of those combat stats too. So they're doing a great job kind of shutting down the win conditions of YBG. So the next step should be to try and shut down the mid lane as well, to ensure that in the mid to late game, no one can really output that damage. And Luke though.
Yeah, right now we see Luke being aggressive against Lucas, or should I say Fish God, and Fish God gets taken down. Bigetron Esports using the draft well, trying to get early advantage. And now with 2 kills onto Eman, this is essentially Eman telling Bigetron's like, hey, look at me, let me do things. And now Ares looks like he's gonna get caught, and he gets taken down. Bigetron Esports forward their own influence inside the jungle of YBG.
It seems like YBG are trying to punish them, but Bigetron are able to get out. They have more mobility here, it seems. They're getting in and out without any issue at all. YBG hasn't been able to really stop the dives or the escapes from Bigetron Esports. And because they have so much more damage in the early game, 3,000 already, 4 kills. Bigetron definitely starting out strong, but they gotta be careful, man. They gotta maintain this kind of control all the way until the Lord phases, and then from there, maybe they can do something more. Because remember, there's not a lot of siege potential for Bigetron with the mid lane Selena. They have Emana the Granger, but they're up against Unicorn on the Sicilian.
I just want to say, hold on, a catch onto Ares, nothing that he can do, he flickered out of it, but Eman still secured the kill. And before I let you talk, Arashi, I just gotta say this, Balexi is level 4, and Eman is level 6, a 2-level lead in the gold lane. We usually see in the jungle, but now in the gold lane, this is rough to watch for any gold leader.
And look at the issues they have right here. They do have the pick up, they do have damage, but look at the mid lane. This is a Selena that should be struggling to clear against a Sicilian, but Bigetron Esports consistently has the mid lane prio, and that is why this Moreno on this Selena is able to just roam around and do so much. Look at his play though.
Yeah, looks like they finally catch Luke, and Luke is still surviving, but not for long. Unicorn gets the kill, and now Bigetron Esports unable to really get any return kills. They back off, realizing that they don't have to trade so much, especially because the turtle is coming up.
That's a potential for YBG to really go for some of these pickoffs, but look at this, dude. Balexi is just never left alone at all. Bigetron, after losing Luke, they still have ample time to set up right here, and the longer people sit around, the more chance there is for Moreno to land on these abyssal arrows again. YBG, definitely trying to find something more, but they're sending Unicorn to try and scout with the bat impacts. That's dangerous.
Yeah, right now if you look at YBG, they're kind of scattered, which is safe for them, but that does mean that they can't really go for any kind of engage. Light and Luke are surveying inside of the jungle. Ares is there, but I don't think there's enough damage for him to pick anyone off. Bigetron Esports almost 4,000 ahead, and right now they're controlling the purple area of YBG's jungle.
And look at Lucas on this on the Joy, actually not being able to clear that pass. Oh, 1v1 against Moreno. You know, a little skirmish there. But he's not been able to use that clear speed to try and clear the jungle. And look at the control. Bigetron. Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, right now Moreno is very low going against 2, and Fish God, even though he secured a kill, I kind of feel like they had to use a lot just to get a mid laner. They didn't get the turret, they just got a kill, and I kind of feel like that's not enough. They gotta get something more.
He's going to be sticking around, but immediately Bigetron already rotating there. So in the turret game, they just have so much more advantage right now, and that's dangerous because for YBG to actually get their game plan to try and use that pick of potential, they need control, right? They need safe zones to use to set up for their ambushes. If they lose all these turrets, there are more angles for Moreno to use to try and land these abyssal arrow pick-off attempts.
Oh, Ares managing to get NFL, but because he does have the quad shadow, he is able to escape no problem. YBG, unfortunately, at this point, they need to buy a little bit more time so that Unicorn is able to stack up because their draft wants the early game, but they do not have the early game. And right now, 4 members are at the top lane, but Bigetron clear up that minion very, very fast. They're unable to push.
That's a lot of damage on the second tier turret in the bottom side as well. YBG could have went for a dive right there, or pressure, but look at Luke going in 1v4. What?
Now, honestly, this is just trying to get something out of something, and now Unicorn is gonna get taken down by the Abyssal Trap of Moreno. And now the Abyssal Arrow hits onto Fish God. Fish God a little bit too tanky. Bigetron Esports, they're gonna put their attention on the turtle. Unfortunately, Unicorn was the one caught by the traps and the arrows.
Still a clean, controlled performance here by Bigetron, but that one moment seemed kind of sketchy there. Luke going in and then flickering out, and then you can see that the team was trying to follow up and wasn't able to do so. Bigetron with a 6k gold lead wasn't able to go and contest the buffs just yet, but in the in the structural objectives, they're just coming out ahead so far, man. Not a single turret has been taken for YBG.
At this point, I kind of feel like it's kind of GG because Bigetron Esports, they're able to take whatever they want because 7 minutes in and they're almost inside the base of YBG. And now Light engages onto Ares. Look goes in, and that's a bad throw coming in from Ares. NFL gets a kill onto Ares, and Bigetron Esports unable to push the mid right now, but they're still applying pressure. Eman as well as Moreno just going in, and Eman, maybe that's a little bit too much, but the AOG comes in. Eman gets a kill onto Lucas. The Abyssal Arrow hits onto Fish God, flickers out. Moreno still gets the kill.
YBG going for the punish right there. It looked like Eman bit off more than he could chew, but the follow-up from his team, well, it's just impeccable, man. It comes in right at the right time. Now YBG, with 2 members down, are going to be forced to defend. Again, it's all on the shoulders of Unicorn here. He needs to be the one that stays far in the back, avoids some of the pickoffs. Maybe YBG might even be forced to use a lot of their tools defensively at this point, because at 9k, back then this used to be the amount of gold that you need to be able to end out the game just by brute forcing it. But right now, with 20 seconds to go, Bigetron is just waiting for that next lord, and they're trying to find a way to end this game cleanly. And they have a lot of ways to dive in the backline, so it's all, I think, hinging on whether or not Bigetron will be able to find a chance to jump onto Unicorn and assassinate him, either using the Selena or the Hayabusa.
Yeah, at this point, I kind of feel like they don't even need to get Unicorn. As long as they get Ares and Fish God, anyone. At this point, they don't have to be very picky who they get, because I feel like they have enough damage to take down absolutely anyone, whether they're the damage dealer or the tank. So Bigetron, they're in such a good spot. If Bigetron somehow loses this game, this will be one of the biggest throws that I have ever seen, because see them losing this one.
Look at the items here, actually. It's a Sky Piercer for Eman. 550 stacks. I mean, as always, Eman is just great at stacking on the Granger. He somehow, some way finds a way to do it so efficiently. But it's only 10 stacks on the Sky Piercer, by the way, so that came in kind of late. It wasn't really rushed into his build. He wanted a bit more of that fighting power in the early game, instead of trying to go for the not guaranteed snowball. But now with the Lord, Bigetron Esports definitely looking for an angle to approach. I think you can put your eyes onto Light, because the AOG can be used to kind of deter YBG, especially with the turret protection no longer active any longer for YBG.
Yep. NFL try to find an angle, but looks like they're gonna see NFL as well as Moreno's positioning. Lori marches in, the missile arrow hits onto one person. Moreno gets a killing spree, but Lexi gets taken down. Unicorn gets looped, but that's not gonna be enough as Light secures a kill onto Ares, and now AOG unable to protect him, but now Bigetron Esports are looking for the turret. The Lord is still alive, but no minions left. Amon is just hitting the bottom turret, but at this point, Bigetron Esports, this should be game. They're aiming for the crystal, and looks like they're gonna get it here. Game number 1 goes over to Bigetron.
Clean performance right there, immediately going for the end, understanding that all they have to do is open up just enough space. That's a very early game finish. I believe it's somewhere about 10 minutes. So Bigetron immediately coming back with a statement right here. They might have fell in day 1, but in day 2, they're here and back with a vengeance.
I mean, we gotta talk about what happened in minute 1. Like, Belexi got killed by Emma. Emma was just camping the bush. And, you know, I guess all the power to him. He has a lot more damage when it comes to level 1 fights. And then afterwards, when Belexi was level 2, there was a gang coming in by Hayabusa, and then another kill over to Emma. At that point, I feel like that's GG. Two level lead for Emma. There's nothing that Belexi can do.
And because they fell behind there, it seems like they were kind of scrambling to try and damage control. And because they were scrambling, Bigetrons were the one. We were talking on and on about, oh, having the Jawhead, having the Joy, having all these pick-off tools for YBG. Bigetron are the ones going for those pick-offs.
Eman has 11,000 gold in 10 minutes. He might have more than 1,000 gold per minute here.
I think so. I mean, Eman and farming, I think anyone who knows about Eman understands that this guy is just efficient on another level, man. Oh boy. Even in that matchup, by the way, I think if I recall correctly, Mirko tells me before level 4, that's where the Granger needs to try and use everything at his disposal to try and get an advantage, either by going for freezes, for weird trades and all that. And for Eman, I guess a solo kill will do just fine as well.
I mean, Belexi was definitely not seeing it coming because he just went in lane. It's like, I just want the gold lane experience, man. I want to clear minions, you clear minions, and then get level 4, get 3 items, and then let's rock it out, right? But Eman's just like, dude, I win this level 1. So, like, we didn't see that coming as well. We don't know whether BTR will try the same thing again in game number 2, but Belexi, fool me once, shame on me. I hope he doesn't get